Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Richard Moglen and welcome back to a weekly watch list video sponsored by MarketSmith. And overall, here is my focus list going into this week. And in this video, we'll basically go through both the fundamentals and technicals of all the stocks on this list. And if I've forgotten any, let me know down below in the comment section, and just kind of let me know in general your thoughts on these setups. What is your kind of your top pick from these group of names? And overall, as of this moment, we're still potentially in a correction phase. We are back above that 21 EMA on the Nasdaq Composite QQQ here, and I would love to see us kind of reconfirm to the upside, but also be prepared if we do break to the downside as well. But diving right into the video, let's start with BLD. I'm kind of trying to cast a wide net here, not be too hung up on the previous leaders as well. There are a few on this list, but we'll have to see and keep an open mind. New leaders emerge after every market pullback and correction. So first up, we've got BLD, definitely not a kind of a regular tech name, but it does have good earnings and sales, great estimates for this year and the next, although estimate revisions are down. Nice increase in fund ownership, but no high quality funds invested into this stock. Looking at the chart, I love how it's showing relative strength here, holding up above the 21 EMA and just kind of forming out a flag here. And I want to see a break through this flag on volume and just kind of some fall through after the nice upside reversal on Friday, managing risk right at that low of the day or even the low of yesterday as well on Friday. And even if you're kind of more longer term minded, you could use the 21 EMA and just kind of trail your stop using that moving average. So that is BLD, a little bit different than the usual kind of growth names that I like to focus on, but it is in a leading group as of this moment. Moving on, we've got CIEN, Sienna Corporation, great earnings and sales in the most recent quarter, and you had a nice gap up from a longer term consolidation, stage 2C here. Nice fall through in terms of earnings in 2023, and estimate revisions are up. That's a great sign. Steady increase in fund ownership, although no high quality funds just yet. And once again, we're in a leading group as of right now. So it did already have its earnings gap up and some nice fall through the next day. So I'm watching for some type of flag consolidation, maybe even a pullback towards the 70 mark, holding that low of the day. Anything that I can use to kind of manage risk versus a low of the day, low of the week, that type of thing. And ideally, we form out a flag and break through that range, and you can manage risk right at that swing low. So that is CIEN. And once again, just kind of focusing on relative strength here, and earnings gap ups are always very, very powerful. Moving on, we've got Denbury Inc. here, and overall great earnings sales margins the most recent 4 quarters. And overall, it's had a nice run, then a longer term consolidation. Then during the most recent correction, pullback, whatever you want to call it, we had a nice pullback to the 50-day area here. We've popped up here and we're back above a rising 21 EMA. So what I'm watching for is a breakthrough this level right here. I think it's right at 85 pretty much on volume. And then you can manage risk right at the swing low, the 21 EMA, or even the low of the breakout day. Overall, great estimates for this year. Nice fall through in 2022 as well, although estimate revisions are down, but it's supposed to basically double its earnings in 2022. That's very, very significant. Overall, really nice growth in fund ownership, although no high quality funds in here just yet. And this group overall is a leading group as of this moment. Next up, we've got GFS, which is a semiconductor IPO that's actually very liquid. So that's key here. Great earnings, sales, and margins the most recent quarter here. And it's currently trying to form out an IPO base. It has pulled back the past few weeks, and we'll have to see whether it kind of falls through this upside reversal that had on the most recent Friday. So you could buy it through 65 or the break of this DTL here. And overall, just looking for a dry up in volume, maybe an inside day, and then a breakout on volume from that type of setup. Overall, looking at the annual estimates, it is supposed to be profitable in 2022. And there's no fund information just yet, but let's click that right here, and you can see there's 131 funds owning shares at this time. Moving on, we've got kind of the king of the semis as well, and this has great earnings, sales margins. This is NVDA, of course. Great estimates for this year and the next as well. Estimate revisions are up. A really nice increase in fund ownership and a whole bunch of high quality funds in here as well. And it did kind of leak Thursday and Friday, but it did hold that 300 level, so you can manage risk versus that level if we do push off here, break the short-term flag, and also kind of retake the 21 EMA area. And I'd love to see it just kind of go sideways for a week. And I'd love to see it just go sideways for a week, form out a longer term base, and then kind of form a tight range that you can manage risk against. But that's NVIDIA. Definitely want to watch if you're interested in semiconductors, because this is kind of the flagship for those type of names. Next up, we've got PUBM, and looking at the earnings and sales and margins of the past 4 quarters, this is really impressive. Great estimates for this year, not so much in 2022. We're actually supposed to decrease, but the estimate revisions are up, which is a good sign. Decent increase over the past 4 quarters in terms of fund ownership, and one high quality fund in here as well. Now I did have another earnings gap up and it's pretty much just gone sideways here. I think I did try it on this day, got stopped at break even the same day, but still within this kind of flag here. On this earnings gap up day, it did have a very poor closing range, but keep in mind a lot of growth stocks were going under a lot of stress that day, and it wasn't an overall good day for the markets and growth names. So this closing range can be, I think, forgiven. And so far it's gone sideways nicely, holding up above the 21 EMA. Nice upside reversal here. And that looks like on Monday, the 6th. So far I'm watching this one carefully, looking for a break through that 40 level, which has been resistance in the past. So that is PUBM. Definitely want to watch in the advertising space. Moving on, we've got Qualcomm, another semiconductor, similar setup to NVIDIA, although a little bit stronger. Actually, it held up better on Thursday and Friday. I actually tried on this day from the inside day and up setup. Once again, I think I was stopped for a 1% gain here, but did hold up into the end of the week on Friday, and it's holding that 180 level. So I'd love to see it just kind of form an inside day and then try to break out and break into all-time highs on that day. And I definitely want to see volume coming in at that point as well. But also this setup kind of started from this earnings gap up, and overall great earnings, sales margins the past 4 quarters, great estimates for this year, and nice fall through in 2023. I would like to see this number increase even more. And you've got a steady increase in fund ownership and 2 high quality funds invested into this name. And you can see that this is the leading group as of this time, ranked 1 out of 197. Moving on, we've got roadblocks, and this is also a frustrating one. I had it here on the outside day and then got stopped the next day, but it is holding that 21 EMA when the overall market wasn't doing so great. And I also like how it held this pivot here basically to the penny on this upside reversal. So definitely a little volatile. I'd love to see it kind of tighten up here. These are pretty wide ranges. So don't try to force this. This could set up over the course of the next few weeks, but I think it is one to watch. Great volume coming in on this breakout, which really draws my interest. Overall, really nice sales growth the past 4 quarters. You see some earnings growth in there as well. Estimates are still negative for 2021 and 2022, but we'll have to see whether these increase here. And you've got a really nice growth in fund ownership and 4 high quality funds already invested into this name. Moving on, we've got Rivian. And this will kind of follow what Tesla does, but I like how it's set up within this IPO base, and you do have earnings in 4 days here. And overall, not much to say in terms of fundamentals, but this is a play on the EV space, which is, in general, holding up pretty well. And the auto manufacturers are doing really well. They're ranked number 4 out of 197. So what I'm watching for is some fall through here, a breakout through 120, breakout of this flag here. You've got some confluence here, nice upside reversal and relative strength late last week. So that's RIVN. Next up, we've got SIMO, Silicon Motion Tech, and overall it's in a strong group here, and this has been improving this rank over the course of the last few weeks, and you had a really nice breakout on volume here on the 7th. So what I'm watching for is some type of flag here, similar to the CIEN chart here, and then you could buy the breakout and also manage risk right at these swing lows. Great earnings, sales margins the most recent 4 quarters, and it looks like it's actually accelerating in all these metrics for 4 straight quarters, so that's impressive. Great estimates for this year and nice fall through in 2022. Really nice growth in fund ownership with an uptick the most recent quarters and 1 high quality fund in there as well. And this really showed relative strength, as you can see from the RS line, basically going vertical the past few days as the market pulled back, and this actually increased during that time. Moving on, we've got Tesla, and this doesn't look too great, but I think it could be forming a base like it had if we go to a weekly back during this time where it's kind of sloppy at the beginning and then really tightens up at the end. So I'll be watching for that, and it did hold the 50 SMA and the 1000 level, so you can manage risk versus that level as well. But I would love to see it kind of tighten up, move up, push above the 21 EMA, and start its way back towards all-time highs. But overall, really nice earnings, sales margins the most recent 4 quarters, great estimates for this year, and really nice estimates for 2022, and estimate revisions are up. That's a great sign. Really nice growth in fund ownership and 4 high-quality funds invested into this name. So it needs a little bit of work, but it is holding that 50 SMA where it's supposed to. But I think the setup is really invalidated if we do break below this low. I think if we do that, we'd likely fill this gap and retest this prior pivot at 900. So last on the list, I believe we've got Yellow Corporation. This is a potential high type flag. It did actually start to break out, but then had 2 inside days to end out last week, and it's kind of now forming another short-term flag. So I want to see a break of this on volume. Great earnings this most recent quarter. Estimate revisions are up, but this is more a play on the overall chart. This is a power play setup, and you've got a nice kind of turnaround in fund ownership as well. So that's pretty much it for my focus list. Let me know your thoughts down below on these names. And if there's anything big that I missed, let me know as well. And just in general, give me your kind of best idea going into next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Thanks.